Hello, and welcome to another edition of Bergen Stages Television, our entertainment magazine here at Bergen Community College. I'm Jim Bumgardner, your host. And currently we are in rehearsals for a thriller by Ira Levin called Veronica's Room. And today I have two special guests. They are stars of the show. It's Veronica Vitali and Brendan Schlenker. Welcome, guys.
Thanks.
How's it going?
Good. It's going good.
You're in rehearsals?
Yeah.
You're up to your eyeballs in rehearsals?
Yep.
But it's going well?
Yeah, it's going really well.
Yeah. Before we talk about the show itself, I do want the audience to get to know you guys a little bit better. So, Brendan, you're the newbie here. This is your first semester. Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
How's it going?
It's going all right.
1 month in.
Yeah. It's scary that it's already 1 month. I feel like it's been like a couple weeks. But,
It's going to fly by. So where did you come from? I know that you went to high school locally.
Yes. I went to Indian Hills in Oakland. I just kind of went there. And
And you were active in the theater program at Indian Hills?
Actually, only my junior year.
Okay.
I went from my junior year into my senior year doing theater, but before that, I was a sports guy. I didn't really, I had an interest in it, but I hadn't really committed to doing anything yet.
It's a real time commitment. Sports takes
really
so
was.
much time, and so does theater, so trying to get the two to mix, I know, can be hard. So you never did theater before until your junior year?
I took an acting class my sophomore year. It was like a birthday present. My mom was like, here, you want to do acting? And I was like, all right, fine. So I went to Porchlight in Glen Rock, I think, and I took a little acting class there. It was like an improv thing, and that was about it.
Wow.
Before that, I was doing football and stuff, and then I had a shoulder injury, which opened up the opportunity for me to do theater.
Suddenly have the time. And so what kind of shows did you do there?
Well, my first show was Seussical. I was an ensemble member, and I kind of just made my way up that way. The second show that I did was a little play called Play On. Yeah, it's a play within a play kind of thing. And then after that, I did Grease, which was my last show there.
Cool, and you did Kinnicky?
Yes, I played Kinnicky.
Great. I didn't stalk you too much on Facebook,
No,
but I did see pictures. Grease Lightning. I thought it's got to be Kinnicky.
Yeah.
And Veronica, you have been here for a couple semesters now.
Yes, this is my fourth semester.
And where did you come from before you got here?
I went to Immaculate Conception. It's all girls private Catholic school. And my first 2 years we only did musicals, and I was actually the only 4-year senior. So the first musical I did.
What is a 4-year senior? You were in your senior year for 4 years?
No. I was the only girl who did theater for 4 years.
Oh, gotcha.
Or all the 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So my first year I did what did I do? A Little Shop of Horrors, and I was an ensemble member. My second year was Seussical, and I was a bird girl. Yeah. And then my junior year we started actually doing fall dramas, and I had actually had my first male role, and I played Laurie in Little Women. And then my the spring musical I did. It was kind of like a whole different. It was like I don't know what they're called. Segments of every show that we did there.
Oh, yeah,
like,
gotcha. Kind of a collage.
Yeah, a collage of all the shows that we did. So I played tons of roles in that. And then my senior year, I played Anybody's in West Side Story.
Great.
So.
An all-girls school doing West Side Story.
Yes.
I wish I'd seen that.
Yes, we actually had men come.
Oh, you did? Okay,
yeah.
I was just trying to think Bernardo, and but it has a whole different interpretation that way.
Yeah.
Cool, that's awesome. And so you both you've done plays as well as musicals, or this is
well,
good.
Only one other play, and that was Play On.
Right.
Other than that, I went to the Rhino Theater in Pompton Lakes, and that was where I got most of my acting in. That was where I did most like musicals and stuff. So.
And what is the transition like? Because I know you've done musicals and plays. What is it? Is there a favorite that you'd rather do? Is there
I like plays. I like the dramas. I'm not a singer. I don't like
That's
to
not true, but
but I feel like I can express myself a little bit more.
In a play as opposed to a musical.
Yeah.
How about you?
I agree with that, but I do enjoy the musicals a little more because I like singing and I enjoy, trying to dance.
And that's great. Well, it's something wonderful about being in the midst of a story and be able to break into song going, well, if I lose them in the story, I can get them back with the song.
Exactly.
But it's so cool. So you've both done both, which is wonderful. And you've also had a great career here at Bergen by performing. I think Blithe Spirit was your first one.
Blithe Spirit was my first one. Elvira,
yeah,
yes. Yep. And then I did the improv shows.
Right.
I've done Director's Lab. And then I got into Company.
A musical.
Yeah.
I knew she could sing.
Yeah. That was Company.
Playing Sarah in Company.
Yep. And then I did Complete Female Stage Beauty.
Right, right.
And then the Young
And
Playwrights.
you've done Young Playwrights
Yeah.
festivals as well.
Yeah.
Good, good. And so great variety there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, to start with Blithe Spirit and all that kind of stuff. So are you both theater majors here? Are you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you both are. So what does, just for maybe somebody that's thinking about becoming a theater major, what do you do here? What kind of courses do you take? What are you taking now? Are you taking anything?
Well, right now I'm in the basic acting class with Mary Clifford, who is the director. And then I'm in Theater 101, which is just studying like the backstage aspects and like the terminology. I think you would know a little bit more about this than I would.
Yeah, so you would normally take your basics, like, you know, your English, math, and everything like that. But as for theater classes, you more take, for general theater, you take like stagecraft and lighting. You take a stage management class, and then you have to actually stage manage and assistant stage
If you
manage.
want to get into the technical side,
Yeah.
if you're an
Yeah.
acting major, you don't have to be a stage manager, but
Yeah.
that's an
like,
option.
Like I'm a general theaters major, so I have to take those classes. If I was to switch to an acting major, I wouldn't have to take the stage management or the stage electrics class or anything like that.
So let me, this is great because you've taken acting classes at Porchlight, you said,
Yes.
and a couple of other places. Why is it important for an actor to take an acting class? And it's like, if you got the gift, don't you got the gift? Or is there?
Well, would you like to go? Go ahead.
Sure. Because when you're having an off day, when you're not up to par, if you're just having one of those off days, it's good to have something to fall back on. You know you can always fall back on your technique. You know, just the other day I was in rehearsal and I was like, man, I am not feeling it today. I'm not in the mood. And I had to fall back on those techniques, and it was just like, it's easier. That way you know you have something to fall back on.
And Brenda, you talked about improv. You took an improv class.
Yeah,
improv techniques.
that's really where, like, you know, you said you fall back in the technique. Well, I kind of fall back on, I guess, like the improv, where it's like, it's kind of just, I feel a little bit how the character would feel in like reality. Like if it was me, I try to put myself into the character, which is what I learned from the class, where it was like, if you have a character, add yourself into it a little bit so you can draw like parallels.
Yeah, you don't want to lose yourself completely
Yeah,
in
exactly.
the character. That's the reason the director cast you in the first place, was there's a little
Yeah.
bit of you they want kind of put in it. You don't want to pull it completely off there.
Yeah, and it helps a lot when you know, you can improvise a little bit for a scene where, for example, like if Mary was to, you know, be blocking them a little bit, you know, focusing on two specific characters, and I'm kind of in the corner, I wouldn't, you know, just want to grow roots. I want, you know, be trying to do something.
You got to be doing something.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to be doing something.
So,
You got to be active in what's happening.
yeah, and the classes helped a lot with that, where it was like you can start to pick out what you think the character would do.
Interesting. And that's even in the chorus of a show. Like you said, I was just in the chorus of the show, but the fact is you're still on stage.
Yeah.
You're still drawing focus, so you've got to be active in whatever's happening, even though it's not on you. So this is a great lesson. And improv has helped with that. And you do improv and basic acting technique as well.
Yep.
Good, good. So it kind of pulls that together. But then you do all these tech things, and a lot of people go, well, I'm an acting major. I don't want to do stagecraft and lighting. Do you think that's an important thing to do? I know at some colleges you don't. You just have your acting track, and that's the journey you take, and you stay away from tech completely, not even knowing what, you know, some of these saws are and things like that. So do you think it's important now that have taken stagecraft?
Definitely. I definitely think it's a big aspect, only because in order to know what's going on stage, you have to know what's going on backstage. If you need a prop and it's not there, who do you go to? You know, where would the first place a backstage hand would put it? You know, if you need help, this, or if something's in your way, like if a set piece is in your way and that's, you know, that's where you have to be, it's like, where do I go? What do I do? You know.
And understand what the other people
Yeah.
did to make this. It's such a collaboration
Yeah.
between all the artists, and we forget that it's not just the actor and director involved here. We have all these
Yeah, you
artists.
can't have one without the other.
Yeah, yeah. And so there's a greater appreciation because you know what they did to make those lights shine on your face for that particular show. Have you done any tech? Did you get an opportunity to do it yet?
I did a
in high school?
little, I did a little bit of like set building, but that was mostly like, you know, if I wasn't really needed for rehearsal, I'd come in, work backstage a little bit. And I also worked on lights for a couple of shows at Rhino,
Oh, cool.
just, you know, helping out with that. And that, again, it gives you a good perspective of like what they really do to make you look good on stage. Like, you know, without the lights, you have really no show.
You're not going to
because-
see anything.
Yeah,
going on
exactly.
there. Yeah. So it is such a great collaboration and a greater appreciation for what goes on there. And I think it's a great idea to take courses that kind of help you get through that. And I think there's some kind of love of just being involved in the theater. You might not be in that show.
Yeah.
So how can I be active with it? Can I help even running ticket sales or ushering or somehow being involved? It just gets in, and it seems to be in your blood. It got there quickly after
Pretty fast, yeah.
but it's still in there.
Yeah, definitely.
And you want to continue with acting?
Yes, yeah, that's my aim, is just keep going with this and see where it takes me.
And you do too, Veronica.
Yes.
Yeah. So now, what kind of courses? Because you've got just a few more semesters and you're done.
Yeah. Right now, I'm actually not taking any acting classes right now. I'm actually just focusing on my basics because I actually want to save the rest of my acting classes for my last semester.
Cool.
That way, I can just get that one last.
And it's all about theater and
Yep.
just kind of getting you there,
Yep.
which is great. So just to kind of explain to our audience, our major here is a liberal arts major, which means that you're going to take your math and your English and your sciences to make you a liberal arts student, and then you take courses that go with your major, which are these theater courses that we've been talking about. And then when you get to your four-year college, if you're transferring out of here to a four-year college, you just are a theater person. You just have to take theater classes.
Exactly.
You're done with all those other
Yep.
basic kind of requirements there, which is kind of an exciting venture too. And you're waiting till the end of your time here to already start that
Yep.
journey there.
Yep.
Good. So now we're in rehearsals for this. What is the audition? Brendan, how do you get ready for an audition? How do you get ready? What does an actor do to prepare?
Well, I kind of sit down. Like, for example, they have the script in the library. So, but the problem was that I only had about 20 minutes to look at the script because I had 20 minutes in between classes. So I had to go in, and there's only 4 parts for this. So I had to read up a little bit. I had to figure out which character obviously I would need to go out for, and then I kind of dissected him a little bit. I read a little bit about I read some of his dialogue, and I figured out how the character would act, how he would move around, what he would really...
In that 20 minutes, just kind of, well, there's only 2 male roles you had to look at because there's 2 male and 2 females, so there's only 2.
No, yeah, I think the first 20 minutes was about, reading through, and then I take the next couple of days before the audition to really think about that. And then I just kind of went in and did what I had to do.
But you encourage, read the play.
Yeah.
Kind of know what this
please.
play's about as opposed to just going in cold.
Yeah.
All that sort of thing. How about you? Anything special?
I definitely read the play first, but as for auditions, I kind of just go in. I get the read,
side,
the
the little section.
slide, yeah, and I just do it. I feel like if I think about it too much, if I start to dissect a character too much, it's like I lose it for some reason.
But this is your basic acting technique. This is like just make a choice
Yeah.
and go with it. And if the director wants you to go a different way, you're alert and ready to take that direction and go a different
Yeah.
way with it. Plus, this one happened to have your name on it.
Yeah,
Veronica,
I
Veronica
know.
Vitale. I don't know. This is.
How can you go wrong with that?
It must have been a great omen for you going, this has got to be my role. It's my
Yeah.
name. But there.
Yeah.
So is it different to prepare for a play than it did a musical? Do you do anything different for a musical? I mean, other than, of course, probably having to learn a song.
For a song, it's definitely harder. I definitely sit there and I look at the song and I go over the words and the melody and the notes in my head. But as for just going in there and doing it, it's
It's
just,
the same kind of thing. It's the same kind of thing.
As for me, the last musical that I did was All Shook Up. It's a jukebox musical with Elvis music. So
Yes, yeah.
when I went into that audition, I knew exactly what I was gonna sing because I know Elvis music. So it's a little different than the
Did you
play.
do that? Did you?
That was the Rhino.
Oh, Rhino.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was
Great.
a very fun show.
Oh wow, I love the show. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. So Elvis, great Elvis music all through.
Absolutely.
So it just could be better. But so putting it all together, you auditioned for this show and got cast in it, and so it's a wonderful production. We're going to take a short break now and come back and talk a little bit more about Veronica's Room, what the play's about, the roles that you're playing, and kind of this rehearsal process that you're in now. But the show is going to open up on October 30th, so shortly it's going to be here.
Yeah.
It's like right on our back door now. But you guys are ready for it?
Yeah.
You're getting
Yeah.
there? You geared up?
Great.
I'd say so.
So we're going to take a short break right now and come back and talk to Brendan and Veronica more details about the thriller Veronica's Room. So come right back. Thanks.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him going on to fascinate millions with his talent? 1 in 260,000. The odds of this born racer having 157 career top 10 finishes in NASCAR? 1 in 125 billion. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year? 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I'm NASCAR driver Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Encuentra el bosque más cercano en descubreelbosque.org. El bosque, más cerca de lo que crees.
Hello and welcome back to Bergen Stages Television. I'm Jim Bumgardner, your host. Today we've been talking with Brendan Schlenker and Veronica Vitali, two of the actors that are in our upcoming production of Veronica's Room. It's a thriller by Ira Levin. And Ira, if you know anything about Ira Levin, you might know his movie, Rosemary's Baby. He also wrote a great play called Death Trap. He always has kind of twists in his plays, his stories along there. And you guys are playing two wonderful characters from this show. So tell us a little bit about your characters. Brendan, I'll start with you.
Wonderful is kind of a stretch.
He's a young man.
Yeah, I am a young man that goes by the name of Larry Eastwood. I'm really just kind of indifferent throughout most of the show. I don't express my views very much unless I'm talking to good old Susan here.
And that's part of what you were saying earlier, is that you're kind of always in the back watching it happen, but you're still present about what's going on in the room.
Yes.
You're just not contributing as much. Interesting, which adds a mystery to your character a little bit.
Yeah.
Why he doesn't participate. Veronica, tell us about, I guess, Susan.
Yeah, Susan Kerner. She's a junior at Boston University. She's a hippie. She's a big hippie.
That's right. It's set in 1973.
Yes.
Correct? Right.
She loves life. She's amazed by everything, and she's just enjoying being with new people and always getting to know everybody around her. She's such a social character, and it's really amazing to play somebody like that.
Are you two? Are you guys? Are the characters dating each other?
For like about a day or two.
So this was the pre-story is they have gone to dinner, correct?
Yes.
This was a date.
Yes, it was.
And what happened at dinner?
Well, we're sitting at dinner, and this old Irish couple comes up to us, and they're like, "Hey, you look a lot like this girl Veronica that we used to know." So they invite us back to her place, and I guess we just kind of follow. We're just like, all right. I mean,
And explore the place.
Yeah.
And who are these old people? What is their connection with the house?
They're Mr. and Mrs. Mackey.
John and Maureen.
John and Maureen, and they are the gardener and the maid.
Oh, cool.
And so what happens is that there's this family who owns the house. It's a big mansion, the Brabazons. And the only one who's still alive is Sissy. Now, Sissy had a older brother and a younger sister. Was it?
Older
No,
sister,
I
younger
believe
brother.
it. Yeah, older
Older
sister,
sister,
younger brother.
younger brother.
Yeah.
And they had both died. So that was Veronica and Conrad had both died.
And this was way back in the 30s now.
Way back in the
when
30s.
this
Yes.
kind of happened. When
Yes.
she was.
1985.
So now she's the only living one, but she's come
Yeah.
up from. She's old.
Yeah, she's really
There's
old.
the word. She's old.
And
Old and
she
senile.
Older. Old and senile. Yes. Yeah, which is an important detail.
Yeah.
and she believes Veronica is alive. And so Mr. and Mrs. Mackey asked me to dress up like Veronica and to tell Sissy that I'm not angry with her.
Right. What? Can we give away why she's angry? Why does Sissy think you're angry with her? Veronica's
Because
angry.
I'm not seeing her. Because I have tuberculosis, so Veronica's not seeing her, and Sissy believes that Veronica is mad at her.
So in her senile state, she's trying to, hoping to come in and get forgiveness from Veronica.
Yes.
And so this older couple do what? They try to do what?
Well, they really just try and convince her to play the part, and she's just kind of like you said, she's just happy with everything. So she's more than happy to do it.
What the heck?
But at the same time, I'm like, this is a little strange. I don't know if you should be trying to like,
Don't even know these
walking,
people.
yeah, like
walking
you
into
don't,
the house.
should you really be putting that dress on? I don't. I'm kind of like,
Right, which is, and also it's back in the third. So let me just get into the set. So you walk in. John Ehrenberg has done a great set. It is the top floor of an old Victorian house, and so you guys walk in, and it's been covered with cloth to
Yes.
reveal what? As you take the cloth off, what are you seeing in the room? What's there?
we see just like old. It looks like it was back in the 30s. Like it really. Like, when you look around, you know that it takes place in the 70s, but at the same time, all the furniture, like there's like an old puzzle that Veronica used to do in the room, and you just, like, it looks like it was back in the 30s, but we're still dressed like the 70s.
Completely frozen in time.
Yeah.
That they've taken this room from when she died, or from when Veronica was last in there, or when she was a little girl, I guess when she was...
Yeah, it was
When
about
a
when she
girl.
died.
Yeah. So you uncover it and just see this well-preserved room, and they want you to dress up. And what do they want you to wear? What is...
So it's a dress. It's an old 30s dress. It's a wrap dress, so it like clips and clips. Garters, stockings, pair of heels.
Your hair?
So the Mackeys they actually do my hair as the 30s. So as of right now, actually my hair in the 70s would be like this. This is how my hair would be. So she actually rolls my hair back and pins it back like an old 30s roll.
So so that you'll become the spitting image of Veronica, and it's kind of strange, as you said, to come into this household and be preparing for this.
Yeah. Even doing the scenes, I'm kind of sitting there and I'm like, this is a little strange. Why would we just walk into these people's house?
Yeah. And that pulls on your actor improv skills. Going, what happened the beats before? What happened at the restaurant? What happened in entering the house? Is the rest of the house as preserved as that particular room is, or is everything just kind of special for that room? Which is kind of creepy that room is. And then and again, Marina Talley is our costume designer, and she's kind of creating two different worlds. She's creating the 1970s world, but also creating this 1930s world for you to be in as you dress up as Veronica here. And again, we don't want to give anything away because this is Ira Levin at his best, and it's got a lot of twists and turns. We've just given you like the first 10 minutes of the play, so we haven't given any spoilers here. This is kind of what happens here. And so now you're in the rehearsal process. As you said, Irish. You go to Boston College, Boston University?
Yes.
So you're working with dialects, yeah?
Yes.
Dustin Charles is our dialect coach.
Yeah.
And he's been helping. What's it like to work on Boston, Massachusetts?
Well, for me, I'm actually from Ohio. Susan's from Ohio.
Cool.
So I have to get
America.
that Jersey. I have to get that Jersey out.
So your dialect reduction
Yes.
is what they call it. So you're,
Yes.
cool.
Yes, but at certain points I do have a Boston accent, and it's really hard. It's a lot different than you would expect. You'd think, Boston, I'll park my car and have it. And it's like,
Right.
But it's hard, and to just stay in that mode because eventually it starts to slip away when you get too used to it, and you don't want that happening.
Right,
so
right.
to stay in that.
And I think that's part of what you were talking about earlier, Brendan, is that you want to bring your character to the role, but you can't bring too much of you because if an accent's involved or a dialect is involved, then it's important. And your character's from Massachusetts?
Yeah, I am from Boston, so I just have the Boston accent the entire time. I don't really go different. I mean, like there are parts where I kind of make fun of Mr. and Mrs. Mackey, and I break into the Irish.
And they're
a little
Irish.
bit. Yeah, I just make fun of them a little bit. But yeah, no, Dustin's great though. He's been really helping.
And it's important to keep these dialects, right? I think it's kind of a part of these characters and probably helps you as actors in creating these roles. I know they're tough to do, but you've got time to get this all on the wraps there. So you keep working on it. A lot of people say, well, why don't they update the play? Could you update Veronica's room? Sorry, that was a tough one. Because I think of cell phones and stuff like that, and I think Veronica I think Susan would walk in with a cell phone. I think she would have that on her person, which of course, all those kind of things is, you were going to say something?
Oh yeah, no, I feel like it's got to stay where it is.
It's gotta
This you can't really update this. It's so period, like in both aspects. Where if you were to, change it to like I don't know, maybe like the '90s, you'd have like a phone. And it would be. Yeah.
It's something great about keeping a play in the period. I know I have my students in my Theater 101 class asking, well, can we update this? I'm going, let's look at the domino effect. Once you do this, these other things are going to happen.
Pops up questions,
And
yeah.
so I think it's great keeping it 1973 and then looking back into 1930s. If you updated the 90s, then we're now in the 50s, and all these things would be very different. So it's kind of cool. So now you're in rehearsals. You're working on blocking. Yes, you're still blocking the show. What does blocking mean, Veronica? What's
Movements on the stage, where you go, where you sit. Just where you go on the stage.
So it's really just the technical side of it all. It's not as creative that an actor likes, because you can't do that until you have all this blocking done. And so the director gives you all this direction. And have you finished all of it? Are you still working on the play, or
We
is it
just
all?
finished last night.
Congratulations! So it's all blocked now. I always like to think of that's the first third of the rehearsal period. Now the second third is letting the actors find that part. So what is your excitement now? Where are you with?
I'm excited to play with the role. I'm really excited. So.
You too, Bergen?
Yeah, this is a complete departure from what I usually do. Like, I've never done a serious role before, except for I did Legally Blonde a couple years ago, and
You
I had
serious?
Yeah, I had to play Professor Callahan, so that
okay.
was the most serious thing I've ever done. This is way out of my league. But
Right. This is not a comedy. There's some lighter moments in it, but it definitely is not a comedy.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's one that younger kids under 12 would probably understand. Am I right about
I'd
that?
say no.
Yeah. I don't think it's. I'd say PG-13 maybe along those kind of lines. It's not nasty play or anything like that, but it's just the situation is so strange that I think that you might want to leave the younger ones at home and let's keep it PG-13 and think along those lines. So now we're almost heading towards that opening night. So what are the last few weeks going to bring for you to get this thing up and running? Well, we got Graham Fry doing our lights, so he's busy with light design, as we've talked about. All the stagecraft people. Tom O'Neill's doing your sound design. And I know there's a song kind of involved in the show and all that. Again, don't want to give things away, but there's a song that is played and sung. And so we have him working his magic there. And Aaron Ingersoll is doing props, which it's important because we're talking 1930s, we're talking 1970s, so all this props come together. So all these pieces start coming together now. Is that an exciting thing for actors? I know that it is for me as a producer watching it grow.
Yeah, like you said with the lights, I feel like I said before, lights are what capitalizes. Like, it makes the show what it really is, and especially with this show, there's a lot of just focus on darkness and brightness and and it takes place in one room. So if you don't have these different values, it's not what it could be.
And it adds to the mystery and the suspense of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right?
If you don't have good lighting, it's what kind of show is
Great,
it?
you are the great promo for Stage Electric's course at Bergen Community College. And so you're excited for the same reason. All this kind of all builds up to a preview night, dress rehearsals, and the performances. The performances actually start Halloween weekend, which is kind of an exciting thing too here.
Yeah.
So we open on October 30th, and we run the 30th, 31st, and then the following weekend, 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Yes.
We do 7 performances here at Bergen Community College. The Friday, Saturday is at 7:30. Then the next weekend it's Friday and Saturday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 7:30. And then we have matinees on Saturday. So we have 2 o'clock shows on both of the Saturdays. So we hope that you will come and see the production there.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. You guys are getting ready for all this final touches there, and for opening night. So we'll have packed houses. Yeah.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
So much to talk about because I want to talk about. I'd love to talk about the difference between performing in the smaller space and the larger space. But I think we'll have to come back and have that. Which do you like better?
I like the smaller space. I started out in the small space. I love the close connection that you get with the audience.
And that's important for actors to know, to have that experience as opposed to huge prosceniums.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people ask, well, why do you, why don't you use everything in the Saccone Theater? But there's something. And probably most younger actors are going to perform off and off Broadway, which tend to be that size theater.
Yeah.
And might as well get used to that intimacy, as you said. You're almost in the audience's lap, which is kind of cool. And with a show like this, it's very kind of cool to be able to feel their breathing and they're holding their breaths there.
Yeah.
There really is a fourth wall that you kind of, you don't want to break it, but you end up breaking it
But
because
you
they're
know
so
it's
close.
there. I hate to wrap this up. This is so much fun. But I just want to say thank you, Brendan. Thank you, Veronica, for being a part of the show. And thank you for tuning in to Bergen Stages Television. We'll see you at Veronica's room.